Hey everyone, at this point I have the greenhouse cleared out and it's time to start getting some plants in here. So the weather's been nice, 60s, 70s, 80s during the day, 40s-ish at night. And this greenhouse doesn't keep things, it's more of a cold frame than a greenhouse that's not heated. And it keeps the air inside, I don't know, 10 degrees warmer than outside. And so I'm just taking all of the plants that I had outside. I rinsed them off outside, sprayed them off with the hose outside, and I'm just transitioning them into the greenhouse. I think the most important thing to know when you take your plants from inside the house to outside the house is to make sure that you either have one of these trays, one of these kind of open mesh bottom trays. Sometimes you can get these trays when you buy plants from a greenhouse. There are some greenhouses that give you these trays with your order, and then some that don't, and some that if you ask nicely, sometimes they'll let you have one. And so that's where I've accumulated most of mine, is just various greenhouses when I buy plants, when they just give you the tray with the plants that you're buying. And I just keep those and I hang on to them so that every year I can reuse them when I take my plants outside. Or you have another plant bottom that has holes in it. Because as you water outside, a lot of times you're using a hose or some other larger watering can. And so you're watering your plants. And what you don't want is those plants sitting in water. And you can kind of see as I'm dumping out some of the bottoms of the trays into the plants to kind of distribute the rest of the water. Some of those original trays accumulated water, and those are because those are the same trays that those plants were in inside. And when plants are inside, you don't want the water to drip out the bottom because it would ruin your floors, and you'd have soil dripping out the bottom onto whatever plants underneath. And so when you take them outside, you want to make sure that you have some other open bottom tray to put them in, so the water can drain out and the plants aren't just sitting in moisture all day long. The first plants that I got out here are the ferns. The ferns are already in 4-inch pots, and so I'm just rearranging those pots into the larger containers. After that, the next plants that I transferred out here are the zinnias, and those are short zinnias. They're in 4-count cell trays, and those 4-count cell trays are in a flat for the entire tray, and the entire flat's still connected. So I always think it's cool when you can just lift up the entire flat and transition it from one tray to the other. But I got those out here. So I think everything that came out at this point in time were the ferns, the zinnias, the alyssum. I brought out the cowboy collection. I had potted those up. I have more plants to pot up at some point in time. But I think the plants are going to be happy outside and being able to have some natural sunlight and some warmth from being outside.